Ah, the times you've spent together with your peers, kvetching about your manager. Oh, they're so awkward. Boy, did you see what they did the other day? Complaining about the snacks in the kitchen, or how come the office in Munich gets a day off for Oktoberfest and we don't? We should get that too. And then all of a sudden, you're in charge. Whoa, are things different now? Now that I'm the leader? Yes, they are different. And that doesn't mean that you have to wear something differently. It's not like you can't wear a t shirt, but inside jokes, shared memories of those are gone. Guess what? You got a new title, and crossing your fingers, you got some more money. And in return, your former work friends, your former peers, they hate you. I'm joking. It's only probably thinly veiled disdain, not true hatred. All joking aside, transitioning from being a peer to becoming the manager of your former work friends or peers is confusing, and it's a delicate process. It's like navigating that minefield of the inside jokes and the shared memories that you really can't refer to or shouldn't anymore. I'm going to highlight the common pitfalls as you navigate this transformation, because I want you to be known as a manager who's good for being a manager, not for the manager who's still trying to hang out with everybody because they're work buddies. So, buddy to boss, peer to manager. The transition from being friends with your colleagues to becoming their boss is daunting. I've seen it tons of times in my work as an executive coach. Imagine waking up one day ready to tackle the day with your work besties, only to realize you're now their boss. But wait a second, you wanted this, right? You accepted this promotion, right? Or you probably actually asked for it. The dynamic has shifted. And it's an awkward transition from buddy to boss. So, how do you navigate this new reality without losing your cool or your friends? Well, actually, honestly, I kind of think you've lost or you're losing your friends. They're not your friends anymore. Okay, here's the first mistake I want you to avoid when you're moving from buddy to boss. Number one, seeking approval. This means you seek approval more than asserting leadership. So you look to get approval from people more than operating as their leader. Now, this is natural because you're in a new role and you're a new manager, or at least you're managing this group of former peers for the first time. And as a human, you want to minimize things that don't feel good. That's very natural. You want to minimize what feels awkward. And what's new can feel awkward and wrong. It's also natural to want to maintain your friendships and seek approval from your former peers. That's okay. Just acknowledge that's probably what you want. Approval is easy to want. It's an okay desire. And you also feel like, gosh, you know what? Things are so cool. I don't want to rock the boat. Remember, rocking the boat can be dangerous. Remember what happened to Cousin Eamon and Dairy Girls. Rocking the boat, serious business. But anyway, prioritizing approval over asserting your new role as a team leader can undermine your authority faster than you can say, rock the boat. Come on, you knew that was coming, right? Now, likability really comes into play when you seek approval. Do you like me? Aren't I nice? Please still like me. Please be my friend. All right, you're not on the playground anymore. You are in a new role, and things are going to be awkward. They're not going to be the way that they were, and there's no way around it. So the sooner you realize that you're looking for an emotional high by seeking approval, the sooner you begin to worry more about your team and the work versus how you feel. It's just not about you, okay? It's not about you and getting approval. Now, here's the second thing I want you to be aware of when you move from buddy to boss. Ignoring all the hurt, miffed people, the feelings out there. Ignoring what really is awkward in the situation. Someone likely wanted this job, your job, and you got it instead. Probably somebody doesn't think you should be in charge. And they don't want you to be in charge. And they certainly don't think you should be doing it and getting more money to do it. This is natural. And if you choose to ignore the true reality that people see this as wrong and different, or they don't like it, or they feel awkward, or their feelings are hurt, it hurts you as a leader. You really set yourself up for a difficult road as a leader. It's possible they like the other boss, or you were just tipsy and gossiping together, and that was just last week, and now everybody's salary. This is awkward. It doesn't feel natural. Yet if you don't speak to the awkward, it only gets worse. It doesn't go away. So I want you to acknowledge, hey, this is a new situation. I realize it's different for me to be everybody's manager than last week when I was your peer. I know it's going to take time for us to get used to it. I don't want to gloss over it. I don't want to ignore the fact that this is new for all of us. I think you don't actually have to say that much more than that. I also want you to realize it's going to be bumpy, and yet it can be easier if you want that, right? So you want to keep these mistakes in mind, especially those hurt feelings. Remember, You know about them, don't ignore them. And hey, tons of people have done this before you. You can do this. You've done much harder work. You can do this. Does it feel crappy now? Yes, it does. And it's going to be less crappy next week, next month, especially if you avoid these mistakes. Are you enjoying this video? If so, subscribe to get notified when my next video is live. Now, the next mistake I want you to avoid is neglecting to set and reset expectations. When you begin to manage your former peers, the expectations, goals, the guidelines that the former manager set need to be reassessed. I don't want you to assume that what they established, what they wrote down, still applies. This is less about putting your own mark on things versus ensuring you understand the current and ideal states of each direct report's skills, goals, and aspirations. So again, it's not about making things yours. It's about actually looking at it, understanding, and making sure that you've set and reset expectations. Now, when you fail to establish clear expectations for each team member and you don't align their individual goals with those of the team and the organization, it adds more confusion. There's additional or increased lack of direction in addition to what's already there, which is you're the boss and you used to be a peer. So it adds another level of confusion. It's kind of like expecting your team to complete a puzzle without the picture on the box. There's lots of confusion and probably a few missing pieces. You want to make sure to retake the picture, right? Reset expectations. Now, this can be tricky because if you're seeking approval, remember that's another mistake, or you're trying to avoid tough decisions, that one's coming, it's likely you don't want to review current goals and projects with someone. It would be much easier to keep things as they are. Yeah, I get it. And you can do that for the first few weeks as you get into your new role. Yet once you hit the first month 1 mark, I expect you to be understanding who's doing what, why, how, and what needs to change, who needs help, who doesn't. And if you're thinking, Lila, I don't want to ruffle feathers, people are smart. Yeah, they are. And it's not about ruffling feathers. It's your job. It's what you're being held accountable for now by your boss. So people are smart, including you. So revisit and reset expectations. Okay, the next mistake to make, avoiding tough decisions to keep the peace. Oh yeah. As a new manager of former peers, it's really tempting to block and tackle and try not to make decisions people don't like, challenging decisions. Now, I know this comes from a good place. It's a good intention. You say, I want people to be happy. I want them to feel good about their work. I want them to think everything's the same, but remember, it's not. I want them to feel good about me. Well, it's really not about you. What you're doing when you avoid tough decisions is you're seeking harmony. And I feel bad saying this. Feels a little strange, but it's like one of those evil fairy tales about the kid who sucked his thumb, right? And in the end, they just chopped it off. It doesn't end well if you avoid having to make tough decisions or bringing up challenging ideas. It never ends well because work isn't about harmony. Building a team isn't about harmony. It's unrealistic. Harmony isn't something that helps you build a team and make good work and help your clients do all the things that you know you need to do. If things are quiet, if you're seeking harmony, things are usually quiet. No one's pushing back and everyone's smiling. It's either the lazy day after a launch, okay, that's totally fine, or something's wrong. And that happens when you push down tough decisions. And it's probably because you want peace and harmony and cookies and flowers and all that. I want you to remember when you avoid tough, contentious, difficult, whatever you call them, decisions, you create an environment where easy stuff gets done, which is good. But, the critical tasks and projects that are interesting and annoying, they're the ones you need to get done. They're the ones that build great projects. They build great expertise. They make people happy. They do amazing things, but they don't get discussed if you don't have tough conversations. So a desire to help keep the peace leads to a lack of clear direction and also a lack of accountability. Harmony can lead to indecision and confusion. So I don't want you to seek it. Tough decisions are necessary. I want you to go into your new role understanding you have more tough decisions to tackle than before. That's just reality. It's not bad. It's not wrong. Okay. Now I want you to embrace being a manager. You're moving from buddy to boss. Wear a different shirt. Doesn't mean you have to dress up again, but choose to approach it differently and avoid these mistakes. Again, if you found this video helpful, subscribe and I will see you in the next one.